Hey everyone, I was about to say good morning. It's not morning, it's afternoon. Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Trivia. We have a fun class for you. I am going to be talking about Tokyo today, and Melissa Brander from Pocket Homeschool is going to be talking about aviation. And you said it's like this is some month of aviation history or
Yeah,
something?
yes, it's a month celebrating aviation history.
All right, very cool. And then I have a mystery current event. Melissa doesn't even know what it is. So you will all find out together. All right. We got Ashley here. We got Melissa's kids. I'm assuming those are your boys
Yes,
commenting. They're telling
those are
everyone
my
about the
kids.
hockey game they went to. All right. And we've got
They're
a couple,
excited to nerd out.
yes, we've got someone else watching. So if you're here, say hi and let's jump into some trivia. All right, question number 1 about Tokyo. We're going to start with the basics. Where is Tokyo? Okay, your choices are China, Japan, India, or United Arab Emirates. Okay, so you can just choose the letter in front of the country you believe Tokyo is in. Hello, Genevieve. I'm glad you made it. All right, we've got 2 votes for B.
This one I know for sure.
Are both your boys together?
I don't. We
You
just
know,
got back, so I think my other kiddo, he might be just having some quiet decompressing time because when you go to a school day hockey game, it is like a million bajillion screaming kids. So much screaming.
yes, I can imagine. All right. All right. Your other son is reading on the couch. It's a
Yes.
very good decompressing activity. All right.
Yes.
Ashley's daughters are weighing in. We also have a B. So we have all B's. I haven't heard from Ashley's older daughter yet. All right. So everybody knew I started easy, didn't I? So, yes, it is in Japan. Japan is a series of islands in the Pacific Ocean. Tokyo is on the largest island. It's really hard to see in this picture, but you kind of have like that banana shape island, and Tokyo's on that bottom curve of the banana shape. All right. So before I ask you this question, there is Tokyo, that's the actual city, and then there's the greater Tokyo area. And that means some people live outside of the city limits, but they come in and use everything in Tokyo. So this probably occurs in your town or your city. There's like the town limits, but then there's people maybe that live further out and they come in and they grocery shop in your town and things like that. So our question is, how many people live in the greater Tokyo area? So maybe not in the city limits, but they would say they're from Tokyo. They often go into Tokyo to do things. Do you think it's A, 3 million, B, 14 million, C, 28 million, or D, 41 million? So think about that. And think about how many people that is. Our entire state of North Carolina has 10 million people. So if that gives you, and I think New York City is around 10 million people. Is that correct, Melissa? Do you think? Does that sound right?
I'm not really great with guessing the sizes of things. I
All
was
right.
trying to
I'm going to look it
think.
up.
I was trying to think because I've been to Korea, so I lived in Seoul for a summer, and so I was trying to think how many people live there because it's a really big
Mm,
city, and I don't even remember. I don't
yeah,
even
Seoul is
remember.
big.
I was gonna like compare it whether I thought Seoul or Tokyo was bigger, but I don't even remember how many people live there. Just it was the the biggest city I ever been in my life.
Yeah. So New York is 8 million. Okay. So
Okay,
just
you
to
were pretty close.
put that in your head as you're thinking about these numbers. So let's see. Thank you, Dominic, for marking where question 2 is. So Dominic says 28 million. Genevieve says 3. Ashley's older daughter says 3. And Ashley's younger daughter says 41 million. Well, guess what? Ashley's 6-year-old is correct. There are 41 million people in the greater Tokyo area. I cannot even imagine what that is like. I show you here that within the city limits is 14 million. So still a ton of people. And so this picture here is called Shibuya Scramble Crossing. It's kind of like Times Square. Like it's not just two roads crossing. There's like multiple kind of crosswalks going on. And they say that, I meant to remember the number. It's like millions of people cross this crosswalk every day. I want to say it's like 2,500 people every minute. So that is crazy. Melissa, your son is dropping facts on us.
I
He
know.
says
I didn't
California,
even know he knew that.
yes. I know California's economy is bigger than lots of other countries. So that makes sense. All right, moving on. So I'm going to give you 4 facts. Only one of these is true about Tokyo. You decide which one is true. A, it's an area where there are a lot of earthquakes and volcanoes. B, it's a desert-like area. C, it's surrounded by a tropical rainforest. Or D, it rarely gets above 50 degrees Fahrenheit there. So which one of those do you think is true?
I definitely think that I know this one.
All right. Genevieve's feeling like it is tropical. Oh, Alan has jumped in. So Dominic says earthquakes and volcanoes. Alan's also feeling like it's tropical. Let's see what Ashley's daughters say. Let me get a little drink while we're waiting. All right. We've got one that says it's desert-like. And wait.
Alan
has changed his mind. Did he do some Googling? I don't know. And Ashley's other daughter also says earthquakes and volcanoes. All right, so we're kind of split here. So if you said earthquakes and volcanoes, you are correct. Japan is part of the Ring of Fire. I don't know if you've ever heard that. If you haven't, that's something you might want to look up in school tomorrow. It is on this map. You see that like red swirl going around the Pacific Ocean. That's the Ring of Fire. There's lots of earthquakes and volcanoes in that area compared to the rest of the world. So Hawaii sits in the middle of that. Volcanoes, there's lots of volcanoes in Hawaii. So, all right, moving on. How do we think Tokyo first started? It has 41 million people now in the greater Tokyo area, but it wasn't like that a few hundred years ago. So how did it start? Was it a fort to protect the rest of that big banana-shaped island? Was it a place where 2 trading paths crossed? Was it a fishing village, or was it a separate island and then was later connected to the main island? All right, so these could all be ways, cities we think of now might have started hundreds of years ago. Which one do you think is how Tokyo started?
Randi, which are the other cities that you're planning on doing?
So I was just working on Mexico City. That is coming out on Sunday. That's true. Thank you. Tokyo is our free mini unit study this week. So thank you for that prompt. And then I don't know how to say it. Sao Paulo, S-A-O Paulo. Do you say
Brazil,
Sao?
Right?
Sao? And then either Melbourne or Sydney in Australia. I'm reserving that decision until I see what kind of resources are out there for each of them. I might do Cape Town, depending how long I go with this series.
Nice.
And sometimes it's harder to find resources for some of these cities. Like there's definitely less for Mexico City than there was for Tokyo, and Tokyo less than there was for Paris, for kids, resources for kids. All right, let's see. We've got Dominic says start as a fishing village. Alan says where 2 paths crossed. Damaris, welcome Damaris, says, or Faith, I'm not sure which is your first name, a separate island. Genevieve also thinks it was a separate island. Ashley's one daughter says a place where 2 paths crossed. And I think her other daughter's up above here and said it was a separate island.
I think
so
too.
Let's see. What do you think, Melissa? Do you know?
I don't remember. I want to guess that it was the fort.
All right, nobody's correct. It was a
Ah,
fishing village. It was named Edo. I think you said Edo.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
an print from the 1800s of what it might have looked like, back more like in the 1600s and 1500s. So that is how it started. It's right on Tokyo Bay, what's now called Tokyo Bay. And it was a fishing village. Oh, Dominic was correct. I'm sorry, Dominic. You were correct. All right. So we talked before about 4 things and only 1 was true. Now we're going to do the opposite. I'm going to tell you 4 things. You have to guess which one I made up, which one is not true about Tokyo. So, is it A, the first Disney park outside of the US was built there? B, the US used to have a naval base there? C, Tokyo hosted 2 Olympic Games? Or D, Tokyo is the largest fish market in the world? So one of those
Oh,
things is not true. I made it up. So you take a guess what you think I made up.
ooh, that's a hard one, Randy.
They all seem very plausible, right?
Yes, that's why it's so hard. I could believe each and every one of these are
Right.
true. Did a good
All
job
right.
making up a fake one.
Well, Dominic and Alan are in what do you call it? They're
In
unanimous.
agreement. Yeah.
In agreement, yes. They believe I made up the one about the naval base. Genevieve thinks, and Ashley's daughter think I made up the story about Disney. Okay, so maybe Dominic and Alan are thinking a little bit about what they know about the world and history, and they've determined that B is not plausible. All right, Ashley's 6-year-old jumped in on that, and let's see. Do we have one more? Damaris Faith. Did you want to jump? Oh, maybe you did jump in with your B. Maybe that was to this question. All right. What do you think, Melissa?
I think maybe C. I'm gonna
You
guess
think
C.
C.
I'm gonna guess C.
So no, your kids are right. It is B is
Oh,
my made up one. So the first Disney park outside the US was really built there. It's near the water. They've hosted 2 Olympic Games. One was 2021 and one I think 1964, but don't quote me on
I'll
that.
get a pass on that because I wasn't alive yet.
And then they have the largest wholesale fish market in the world, or at least one of the largest wholesale fish markets in the world, because fishing is big there. Fish is a very common food there. So correct. We never had a naval base there. There's other islands, right, in the Pacific Ocean where we have had or currently have naval bases, but never Japan. In fact, we fought against them during World War II. So, all right. You're going to share your screen, Melissa?
Yes, I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay,
I was
Melissa
like
is
ready
going to
for
move on to aviation.
more questions. Okay. Sorry. I was like every time I forget how to do this. All right. Okay.
Let's see. Dominic says,
There we go.
okay, that he knew it was
I am
Japan
ready
because
for you.
closing its gates. Explain that in the chat, Dominic. I'm not sure what you're talking about while your mom gets started here.
I am all
Oh,
right to
I
go.
got to
You
add
can
you. I'm sorry.
you gotta add me. Yep.
Okay.
I'm all ready to go. So this is gonna be about aviation trivia, and I am really excited to teach you. There's a lot about famous people that flew planes in here. So let's get started. So our first question is this. The Wright brothers are known for inventing the first airplane. What did they sell before that? Is it A, bicycles, B, soap, C, automobiles, or D, plants? What do you think they sold before they invented the airplane? They did this first and used the money that they earned doing this to pay for their exploration and inventing airplanes.
Are you going to have any more Wright brothers questions?
I think this is my only one.
Okay, because I was going to share something, but I didn't want to ruin any of your questions. So we've
Tell
gotten
me,
to
tell me more.
go see where the Wright brothers launched their airplanes because it was in North Carolina out at the beach. So
Yeah,
it's
activity.
actually in a place that takes us 6 hours to get
Wow.
to. There's other beaches that are 3 hours away, but you have to like go up and then down the Outer Banks to get there.
I think everyone is in now. We have 3 answers for bicycles, 4 answers for bicycles and 2 for automobiles. And it is bicycles. And that was they were really good at selling bicycles, repairing them, renting them. They kind of did all of that. And that they had a lot of mechanical knowledge, which would help them for their endeavors in inventing airplanes. All right. Okay. Next question. What is the name of the organization founded to support female pilots? Is it A, 77s, B, 88s, C, 99s, or D, 101s? Do you know
I
this one,
should
Randy?
know this. I read that book, Fly Girls. Have you ever heard of
Oh,
it? It's about
yeah.
all the
I
women
have
in
heard of it, but not read it.
the early days of aviation, but I don't remember. It's kind of a
If
crazy book because back when they were first figuring out how to fly airplanes, the planes fell out of the sky a lot.
Yes,
A
they
lot, a
did.
lot.
A lot of people died in the early
Yes.
days of aviation.
Crazy to think about.
Looking up some of these stats and then be like, oh, this person perished in an airplane a lot of times.
Oh, I
Uh,
should have noted where this question was. So Genevieve's A is the first one.
all right.
All right.
And
And Dominic's explained the Japan thing.
if you really want to know more kind of about, well, there's a really fun middle grade novel that we read when we were
Hmm.
doing this aviation stuff. It's called The Amelia Six, and it's a mystery, and it was so much fun. Because I'll tell you in a little bit a little bit more about that. Well, not that book, but about Amelia Earhart. All right, so I think we have all our answers in here. We have an A, a D, a C, a C, a D, and a B. All right, so we kind of have all the answers here. So our answer is the 99s. And so they named it the 99s because that was after the original 99 charter members, and Amelia Earhart was the first president of this organization, but it still exists. It's still out there. But like if you read anything about female pilots from this time, a lot of times from the time of Amelia Earhart, a lot of times it will talk about the 99s.
All right.
All right. And I said I would tell you a little bit more about Amelia Earhart. So this question, which one of these records was not set by Amelia Earhart? Is it A, first American woman to receive a pilot's license, B, first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, C, first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean, or D, first person to fly solo across the Pacific Ocean? Which one of these was not done by Amelia Earhart? Oh yeah, it's really fun to learn about her life, which is fascinating. We read a lot of books. There's more, like a whole list inside of my taking flight activity pack. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but if you want more books, there's definitely for sure more in there. What do you
I
think,
think I
Randy?
know
Do you know
this.
this
I
one?
I think I know this. I'm
All
gonna
right.
hold my answer. It's crazy though when you read about her that she was not allowed to try some of these things at first because
Yeah.
women didn't do that sort of thing. And so
Yes.
she'd be the passenger with a man flying.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Also, I've read that some of her contemporaries will say that she was not even the best female pilot at the time, but she's kind of the
mhm.
one that gets remembered because of her so many of these things that she did, and also because of her disappearance.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
Yeah. All right. I think we have all the answers in. We have some A, first American woman to receive a pilot's license, and some D, first person to fly solo across the Pacific Ocean. I think all the answers are that. You guys kind of know the middle two, that is true. It is A. She was not the first American woman to receive a pilot's license. The first American woman to receive a pilot's license was Harriet Quimby. That is who was the first person. We don't really remember her name today.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
She was the first American woman to earn a pilot's license. All right. Now, talking about another person, what is Bessie Coleman known for? Is she A, the first woman to jump from a balloon with a parachute, B, the first African American female pilot, C, first woman to pilot a powered aircraft, or D, first woman to fly across the English Channel? Do you know who this is?
I do remember Bessie Coleman. And I've also seen her in a museum recently, I feel like. I'm trying to think if it was even the North Carolina Museum of History.
Oh, she did make it solo across the Pacific Ocean. My kids are disputing my Amelia Earhart fact. What she did not do was complete a flight around the world. She did not complete her flight around the world, but she did fly from Hawaii to California, and that is considered the first woman to fly solo across the Pacific Ocean. But she did not make her trip around the world.
Your kids are cracking. Oh, I forgot to write question 4. Your kids are cracking me up. They're very passionate about calling you out.
They are very passionate.
All right, Genevieve, we're waiting on you, girl. Well, actually, I don't think your kids have answered either. Oh, there they are.
Oh, they just answered. Yep.
All right, there's Genevieve. You have lots of A's.
So it seems that most people think it's A or B. And we'll tell you that some of you are right. It is B. She's the first African American female pilot. But all of these are real records. Like, you can look them up and see who the first woman to do these things was. Do I remember all of their names from when I looked them up? I don't. But, all right, here we go. This is our last question. The Spirit of St. Louis was a famous plane belonging to which of these famous pilots? Is it A, Amelia Earhart, B, Jimmy Doolittle, C, Charles Lindbergh, or D, Chuck Yeager? And these are all real famous pilots. None of these names are made up. They're all famous for different things, but only one of these people flew the Spirit of St. Louis. That was what his or her plane was named.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No. I feel like I've heard of that. Oh, did I? Oh, no, I did. I did write question 5, but then your kids were still calling you out.
I know. I did not make the record. Take it up with whoever decides the records. I didn't decide it. I'm just telling you what I learned. I didn't decide whether or not Hawaii is the start of the Pacific.
And Ashley shared that Waldock Way has a free unit on her. Waldock Way, if you are not familiar with them, that's WALDOCK. Waldock Way has some really good unit studies. Lots of who was unit studies, I believe. Right, Ashley? So, anyways, just throwing that out there.
I should have. Oh, my goodness. Do y'all have a sassy 12-year-olds? Because I do, apparently. Hold on. They played a song this morning at the hockey game, and I was like, this song is popular when I was in high school. And my kid said, yeah. I know, it sounds old. And I said, what?
All right, let's see. We've got, are we just waiting on Genevieve? Or is she in there? No, I've lost where I wrote question number 5.
I think she's in there with the A.
Okay, we're ready. What's the answer?
All right. It is C, Charles Lindbergh. So he
All
famously
right.
flew the Spirit of St. Louis. You can read more about him. There's a lot of books about him too. And that is it. That's my last question. And this is it. It's fun. It's fascinating to think about the early days of aviation.
Mm.
So thanks for coming along on this adventure with me.
And I
Are you
did
ready for your
share the link in the thread here. And also, if you just go back to where this is on the YouTube channel, you can find the link there in the description. All right. So our current event is not one current event. It's going to be 5 different events. And this dog has nothing to do with them. I just thought it was like he was curious to know what's been going on in the news. So that's why his picture's there. There is a dog question later. Don't confuse this picture with the dog question. All right. First up, one of the most famous fountains in the world, the Trevi Fountain, is undergoing renovations and visitors are upset. I'll tell you why in a second. Where is the Trevi Fountain located? Is it A, France, B, Turkey, C, Italy, or D, Egypt? I will show you a picture of the fountain in a minute too. Nope.
I know this one for sure because I suggested this
Yes,
one.
I know. You know it. Oops. I didn't get my question one in above those answers. All right. And if you have joined us since the beginning, feel free to just jump in and answer a question. Oh, your kids think that you're going to be an expert at these. We'll see. We'll see if you know all of them. All right, we got some C's, but I'm waiting on Ashley's girls and Demarius Faith. Is that what it is? I forget now. Sorry. Yes, Damaris Faith. All right. All right. Everybody is weighed in. We have C and we have D. All right. If you said C, you are correct. So this is the Trevi Fountain. It's in Rome. It was built a little over 250 years ago. So see where all that pretty blue water is in the front? That's gone right now because they're renovating it. So they drained it. But what visitors are kind of complaining about is usually people like to throw their coins in it. So they made like this, it looks pretty small, like size of a bathtub, like box, and you can see like the plywood and the plastic pipes going into it. Like it's really tacky looking. And they put that there for people to throw their coins in still. So people are like, you could have done something a little nicer in the meantime. So anyways, that's the story of the Trevi Fountain. All right. So recently, a rare coin, a rare dime, was inherited in Ohio by 3 sisters. So that means somebody died and left this dime to them. That's actually a picture of it. And so they auctioned it off. And how much do you think they sold it for? Do you think it was A, $500, B, $5,000, C, $50,000, or D, $500,000? How much do you think they got for their dime? And remember, a dime is 10 cents normally. So.
Yeah, so my son said this is the one that is missing the S, which is true. That's
Yeah.
what makes it special.
Yeah.
Am I spoiling it?
No, it's fine. Okay, your son's just dropping facts. All right, so we have a C, a B, and a C. And who am I? I'm waiting on Ashley's girls. A D. Waiting for her last girl. Let's see if she weighs in. All right, I'm sharing the answer. If you said D, you are correct. It sold for $506,250. And the reason it is special is because when we make money, there's different places in the United States that actually like make the money and they put a stamp on it so you know where it was made. So this dime was made in San Francisco, but 2 of the dimes made in 1975, and San Francisco didn't get their stamps. They're missing their S, which is their mint mark for San Francisco. So anyways, that is why it is rare, and that's why somebody paid over $500,000 for it. And that just shows you that humans are funny, is what I think.
They are. I
All
think
right.
there's some really famous upside down stamps of an airplane too that are worth a lot of money.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're
I'm sure.
printed wrong.
People are funny. All right, this weekend, or maybe early this week, bells rung out for the first time in 4 years in a famous church that was greatly damaged in a fire. So, what is the name of the church? Is it St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow, Russia? Notre Dame in Paris, France? Milan Cathedral in Milan, Spain, or St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City? So, what church was damaged in a fire and the bells just rung out for the first time in 4 years? What do you think?
I have a guess.
I'm assuming you know this.
I'm pretty sure I know it too. I didn't see it, but I'm pretty sure I know which of these was greatly damaged in a fire.
Right. All right. So far, people are thinking it's Notre Dame or St. Peter's Basilica. Excuse me. We got a vote for St. Basil's Cathedral. And I feel like we're missing somebody, Darius. Are you going to jump in? All right. We're going. We're going to share. It is Notre Dame. All right. Damaris. I think I've been saying that name wrong. I'm so sorry. Damaris, that also said Notre Dame. So this is the front of the cathedral. It had a fire in 2019 that basically like burned, I think, everything inside. Thankfully, it was built of stone. So, the stone shell remains. So it is almost done. The renovations are almost done, and it's going to reopen December 8th, I think is the date. They had hoped it would be done for the Olympics this summer, even though they kind of knew that was like pushing the timetable, and it wasn't, but it's going to be open again soon. So they were ringing the bells to test them. All right. So this is a fun one. A dog named Bo just won the 2024 American Humane Hero Dog Award. He has helped rescue a lot of people, and so he won the award this year. And I want to know, what type of dog do you think he is? Okay, do you think he is a bloodhound, a German Shepherd, a Beagle, or a Doberman? What kind of dog do you think Bo is?
I have no idea, but I really want it to be a beagle. I don't.
Well,
I
the cool thing, this is like just the next county over from here is where the dog is
Oh.
from. So
I
that's
was like,
fun.
I have never even heard of this American Humane Hero Dog Award.
Yeah, I don't know. I like scanned by it when I was looking at good news stories, and it was one of them. So, all right, we've got A's and B's, German Shepherds or Bloodhounds. And let's see, Damaris, what do you think? Genevieve's up above the question number. All right. Weigh in if you can, Damaris. I'm going to show you. It's a bloodhound. So this is a bloodhound here. See his long ears and kind of his extra skin. So that is what a bloodhound looks like. And he's only 18 months old, which I honestly thought it took longer to train them to do that work than 18 months. So I don't know. All right, last one. An animal arrived this month in Australia after traveling for 2,200 miles. Excuse me. What type of animal is it? Is it an albatross, a seal, a penguin, or a narwhal? What do you think? And I've got a picture of this animal on the next page too.
I just heard one of my kids shout, "Ha! I know this."
He said, I know this.
Yeah, she just like shouted it above me. There, I'm in the basement. This is our basement.
Gotcha.
And so they're on the first floor, and I just I just heard
All
him shout.
right.
I don't know this one. I was not paying attention apparently.
All right. Well, they say it's a penguin, but maybe they don't know what they're talking about. So make
Maybe,
your
I
own
don't
guess.
know.
Make your own guess. All
Could be
right.
wrong.
Waiting on Genevieve and Damaris. All right. Everybody's jumping on the penguin bandwagon here. Oh,
It's
you know
just
what?
funny
Genevieve
because
might have left us, actually.
I
Oh,
heard
there
them
she
shout with like such confidence. It just cracks
All
me
right.
up.
Well, they're right. It was a penguin. He flew. He did not fly. He swam from Antarctica. They're not sure why he got so lost and ended up in Australia. He was very malnourished when he got there, so he's been taken in by a bird rescue organization. They're going to take care of him. He's going to be okay, but they're not sure why he got so lost. And I'm trying to remember, there's a lot of animals that use the electromagnetic field of Earth to navigate. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
penguins are one of those. I'm sure your kids would know. Dominic and Alan, could you fill me in? Is that how penguins get around? Maybe this penguin doesn't have good sensors, like a sensory processing kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't think penguins migrate, do they?
Yes, I do
They
think
do?
they lay their eggs in one place and then
Oh yeah.
swim, or maybe the men swim. No, now I'm getting mixed up. I feel like yes, there is some level of migration there.
But
So
not like whale level of migration.
no, I don't. No, not like a whale, and not like some birds. That fly from
Yeah.
one pole to the other. All right. Your kids believe they use ocean currents in the magnetic field. So I don't know. Maybe this penguin has some sensory processing challenges and got lost. All right. That is it for today's trivia. We will be back December 11th. And we're going to do a Christmas around the world kind of trivia. Here's a tradition. You guess what country it's from. And then Melissa is going to do some winter topics because the first day of winter is in December.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for coming, and we will see you next month.
Bye, everyone.